On December 28th, 2023, the British public was stunned to hear that an iconic seaside landmark was up in flames, Blackpool Tower. Photos and video of the fire went viral on social media. Journalists and editors asked to use the footage to cover its breaking story. Reporters were sent to Blackpool Tower as firefighters raced to the scene. The tower was evacuated, roads were gridlocked due to emergency services, and crowds just stood and watched the fire.
Oh, 5! Fire!
Only the tower wasn't on fire. It was just some orange netting blowing in the wind. Well, I guess we all feel a bit silly now. Of course, it's very easy to say all this like Captain Hindsight, but why did this even happen? And who's to blame? Well, here's the story of how a blaze at Blackpool Tower spread like, well, a fire. Blackpool Tower is arguably the seaside town's most iconic attraction. In the 19th century, the mayor of Blackpool loved the Eiffel Tower so much that he wanted to copy it and build his own Blackpool. It later opened in 1894. Standing at 518 feet, the tower also has an entertainment complex and a three-storey building that comprises the tower, including the Tower Circus, Tower Ballroom and the roof gardens. In December 1956, the tower was actually damaged in a fire when the ballroom was alight and destroyed the dance floor and the restaurant underneath. Thankfully, it was repaired and restored. A few years ago, there was also a report of smoke at the tower, but it was just an electrical fault at a neighbouring property. And that's why the scenes on December 28th were so worrying, especially if you love Strictly Come Dancing or just Blackpool. At around 2 PM on December 28th, 2023, staff and members of the public were evacuated from the Tower Ballroom and the Tower Circus after reports of flames at the tower. Members of the public could see the flames at a metal section near the top of the tower at 2:15 PM. Some even told reporters they could even smell smoke. Footage of the fire went viral on social media and clocked views as fast as the new Mr. Beast video. Reporters and editors hoovered up the footage, with permission, to use for live news reports and breaking news stories. Breaking news alerts were sent out as readers reacted with shock. 6 fire engines as well as a rope rescue team were sent to Blackpool Tower, along with police officers. At 2:58 PM, Lancashire Fire and Rescue shared on social media they were currently intending to have a fire on the promenade in Blackpool. They also advised people to please stay away from the area. The hysteria ensued. Crowds gathered to watch. Traffic in the area was not moving. Live blogs were launched. TV news channels slowly talked about the fire at Blackpool Tower while struggling to fill airtime.
You can see the flames there right at the top of the tower. This is a 158-metre structure, really famous, a famous landmark in Blackpool, known by everyone, with views, apparently, according to the website, best views across North West.
We always see this in the event of a breaking news situation. There's various rumours, various things that get put out there. So at the moment, we are just working to try and verify everything that we're seeing. But what we know is that that fire broke out around 2:15, and then this huge emergency response has kicked into place.
Yet some people were suspicious. How did the fire start up there? Where's the smoke? Is there even a fire? What's the saying? Where there's smoke, there's fire? And why isn't there more photos or videos of the fire? But never mind, let the emergency services do their job. The police sent a helicopter to safely inspect the fire, but couldn't see a fire. Even a drone couldn't see anything. But then at 4:27 PM, it was clear it wasn't a fire.
They say the helicopter has flown over the tower and there is no fire. So that is confirmation that there is no fire, and they confirmed that can be seen is orange netting.
It turned out to be orange tarpaulin fluttering in strong winds. It was a hoax. I guess that's a big sigh of relief. Fire service said a combination of factors led to people believing the tower was on fire. Chief Superintendent Karen Edwards said in a Facebook post,
"We are at the scene in support of Lancashire Fire and Rescue Service, Blackpool Council and Merlin Entertainment. The top of the tower is currently closed for renovation and difficult to access. Our helicopter has flown over the tower and there is no fire. We can confirm what can be seen is orange netting."
Merlin Entertainment, who run the tower, also confirmed there was no fire. Not gonna lie though, the memes were pretty great.
Oh my god! We're having a fire sale! Oh, the burning! It burns me! Evacuate all the school children! Ah!
But amongst all the hysteria, one man was arrested on suspicion of breach of the peace. Days later, he was given a community resolution and detained under the Mental Health Act. So after all this, you're probably wondering why this even became a story. Well, it was all kicked off by Lancashire Fire and Rescue Service sharing their own attendance at a fire at Blackpool Tower. This statement was also shared by Blackpool Police. These are two official and reliable sources and pretty much confirmed an incident was unfolding at the tower. In a newsroom, that confirmation of a fire along with some sketchy photos and video of a possible fire, an editor would probably conclude that was a fire. That would also be enough to launch a news story and a live blog. But this is where the massive error happened. Responding to this hysteria on social media, there was a rush to beat other news outlets to break the story and have the live blog that people would read and share on social media and rank highly on Google search. In this rush, there was not an editor that ran the incident through what I like to call, is this the bullshit machine? I mean, one live blog said this footage appeared to show smoke billowing from the top of the tower. It was clouds. It's a big difference. Also, the tower eye had been closed for maintenance works, hence why the orange netting was up there. But one musician summed up quite nicely.
Send back the film crew from the BBC. It goes to show how news should be double checked and how it's hard to tell difference between a fire and a net.
It's also worth pointing out the incident occurred between Christmas and New Year's. This period of year is when nothing really happens because even criminals like to take some time off at this time of the year. Therefore, any breaking news like this would soar to the top of the news agenda. Yet Talk TV seems not to blame themselves, nor the media's role in this whole situation. One reporter was clutching at straws so much that she tried to claim there was a suggestion that Just Stop Oil was involved because it was orange netting.
But because this arrest was made for a breach of the peace, because the orange netting was orange, there was speculation sparked that this might have been Just Stop Oil. They might have been behind this. As we know, the environmental protest group have carried out a number of stunts using their flagship orange. So I reached out to them to find out if it was, and they got back to me and simply said, we weren't behind this, but we wish we were.
Well, why? It makes you wonder what's going to happen at the next Lib Dem conference if every time someone sees a flutter of orange there.
So after all this, was it the media's fault? Was it the emergency services fault? Was it social media's fault? Meh. Well, actually, they all were sort of to blame. The Blackpool Tower fire was a cautionary tale about verifying information and need to be careful reporting. Emergency services sending out social media posts about an incident should be cautious with the wording unless it's 100% factual. Otherwise, you'll be lapped up by reporters who are trying to cover the story. There's also a need for newsrooms to fact check these incidents before publishing stories, and even so, just be careful of the wording. You know, throw a few alleged and reported leads in a copy. That'll sort you out. Otherwise, a false news story or a hoax could spread rapidly, like, a rash. Well, that was a strange few hours, wasn't it? If you did like this video, please drop me a like. If you have any thoughts or any comments you want to share them in the comments below. And of course, subscribe to this YouTube channel. And look at the videos on the screen right now, I really would appreciate it. And there's a load more on my YouTube channel page if you link. Any support is much appreciated, and hopefully I'll get to see you again here soon. Take care for now.